What's up, guys? Got another video for you. Wanted to put this video together of this project we've had for a while. Been a little bit of a complicated build, plus the move and everything else, but wanted to give you guys some insight because I know a lot of people really like the Beams platform and the Beams Alteeza motor, the 3SGE that comes out of the Japanese spec Alteeza. So we got one that we've been working on. We're finally moving forward with it, trying to get this thing finished between, we're bouncing around between two projects. So you guys have seen this car that we're bolting this thing together. We're working on the valve adjustment now. I'll get you guys some video of that. But we've been pretty much mocking this all up. Next, we're gonna be doing wiring on this. So, but this is the beam setup we've been working on that we've had in our possession for a while. Just always tricky when you put something exotic in the cars that they don't come with. We didn't do the motor mounts and all that. That was done somewhere in New York. I'll give you guys a shot of the motor mounts and stuff they did. Plus they put a rack and pinion in there. So some of that is what has been slowing us down because I don't like the way they did a lot of that. But I kind of relayed that to the customer and explained to him, you know, a lot of the little issues that have been happening, and we'd have to sort through. We're basically gonna ignore those things for right now just to try and get the motor fired up. But I wanted to give you guys an insight on the motor in the car. This is a TE27 Corolla. It's see the back of the car there, but you can see here the factory harness that he had sent to us when I guess he bought the motor. He got the factory harness and all that. But you see the header we did for it. It's 1 3/4 inch, all stainless, just a little dirty, been sitting for a while. But stainless head flange as well. Remove the factory water neck that was here. We're gonna build our own water neck, probably put a fitting right on there just to make it clean and simple to come around to the radiator. So that'll be next. We're gonna rewire all this stuff. So it's a big project, you know, a lot of wiring needs to be done. Just takes time. I mean, it's time on top of time trying to fab the header, do the exhaust system. The guys in New York had also put a Chevy rear end in it, so acquiring the drive shaft was a little tricky. So little things like that, but we got all that done. I'll go underneath the car in a little bit to show you guys all that. But going back to the header, it's a 4x2 into 1. I don't know if you can see it down there. You can see where it collects into 2, and then they merge into another collector to go into 1. So that's the way I decided to build the header. See if it'll give the motor a little bit more torque than what they normally have. You know, this is just the 86 by 86 millimeter bore and stroke motor, so it's not, you know, like a 5S. It's not torquey at all or anything. Plus we got these throttle bodies that came from Australia. This whole setup, actually all billet, has a nice billet intake manifold there as well. And I like how they built the manifold that it kind of matches the port, so it's at that angle up, as you can see there. See how they kind of stack up. So I like the way. I haven't used this setup yet. I'm excited to see how it works. We did do a beam setup that had 44 millimeter, I believe. It had the 20 valve ITBs, so I'm not sure what size they are. I know they're not very big. I'll actually put a video up right now of that so you can see it. So yeah, in that video, that car made about 185 horsepower to the wheel with those smaller throttle bodies, which I think was a huge restriction on it. Nothing special, it was on pump gas, but that thing was a lot of fun. So I'm really curious to see how this thing performs. These are 50 millimeter again, and I think it'll really wake this whole setup up. I got the harness pretty much done for it. I was waiting on the injector plugs, but I got the harness pretty much finished up. This is for your injectors, these are for your coils. I just got to pin everything out. And he's got a whole host of Haltech components. So you got the Haltech wideband there. It's gonna have an Elite 550 in it. Nothing too crazy. Got the CAN hub. and he actually decided to put a Haltech IC7 dash in there, so this thing is going to be cool. Again, kind of the old school flair with the modern flair, modern touches to just modernize. I mean, once you go with the new setups, man, you can't beat how convenient Haltech makes everything, and most of the ECU stuff now that is all CAN bus, so it's all plug and play, which is really cool. So we got to get the fuel system finished up. Got the fuel regulator here, got an aeromotive, you know, fuel pressure regulator. That's gonna go in there. What else? But yeah, interior wise, the car has a lot of work to do inside of here. But we'll get rid of all the old analog gauges, figure out where we put that Haltech dash, and just clean up the whole inside of the car. We got some panels that he bought. I forgot the name of the company, but it's all aluminum panels that are all powder coated, so they'll cover all this stuff in here, cover the back of the car here. Everything will be covered with those panels that are pretty cool. They're all black. So this is one of the panels for the rear quarter panel that'll cover the area in the back. They're that wrinkled black finish, which they look good. I don't know where he got T3, I think is the name of the company that he got them from, and they're set up for a TE27, so pretty cool panels. Got to get the starter in there, and I'll show you guys underneath the car what we're working on. And this is the rest of the exhaust pieces that I have for it that need to go in as well. Got the muffler back there, just have to hang that up. Alright, so we did not build the transmission mount. That again was the guys who put the motor in, but you get a pretty good idea of the exhaust we're building for it. It's a 2.5 inch all stainless. Got a V-band clamp there on the collector to make it easy to take on and off. And let's see, here's the drive shaft that I had made for it, I was telling you guys about. So nothing big. I try to make it as lightweight as possible since it's just an all-motor setup. And there's the rear that was put in the car. Drive shaft again bolted in. And so yeah, now that we got it all wired up, next step is I'm going to try and get the exhaust done. Finalize the exhaust, get that out the back of the car, and try and get this thing running so I can move on to the mustard car and get that thing done as well. So gonna have some cool things coming in the next, you know, few weeks, trying to get these cars fired up and wired up and all that. Plus there's a lot of footage on the race car that we've been working on that as well, so stay tuned. Again, like, comment, you know, tell your friends, comment on what else you'd like us to put up, and just any information you can give us. But we're gonna keep the content coming. Yeah, so that's a pretty good update on this car. And again, I appreciate everybody that has subscribed recently. A lot of the comments, a lot of the positive feedback we've gotten, and just comment, let us know, you know, what you'd like to see in future videos and things like that. And we got some got a car that we're hoping to buy. That content's coming soon. A lot of updates on the race car, so stay tuned, guys. We got more coming.